Morning, Joe Deary, Powerful Improvements, Putnam, Connecticut. Out here with Patrick again today. It is December 31st, New Year's Eve day. We're down here in Moose Up at the storage facility that Lauren and I washed a couple of weeks ago. We did gutters and washed down here a couple weeks ago. And the client asked me to wash this garage bay, which we weren't prepared to do that day because it did not have the surface cleaner on the truck. But we do have it today. Although I left my pressure washing gun at home in the garage. So thankfully we have the MoFlow to rinse with when we're done. And I did have a ball valve to use, so that's good. So we get the pressure washer set up. We're on about, 100 feet of hose or so. And we're just gonna give this a once over with the surface cleaner and see how it comes out before we add any chemical or do any kind of degreasing. We do have a nice drain in the floor, which is currently empty, but I'm not confident that it's going to drain. So I did remember to bring my big squeegee on a handle so we can push water this way, and we do have a push broom. We're gonna run the 5.5 and see how that goes. All right, so we got the 5.5 back on the truck the other day. Both of these machines are just floating here. Neither one of them are bolted currently to the deck. I am gonna be bolting these to the deck in a few weeks, but I wanna get this painted first. This thing's been sitting for probably a month and a half, 2 months at least. It is about 35 degrees out here. We'll see if she wants to start up. Stone cold. Make sure our water is on. Should be good to go. Ooh, she's crusty. One pull. I just made 2 quick passes with the GP 19-inch surface cleaner, and it made like no difference at all. Can't see any difference. Took up a little bit of dust. That's it. I did bring some dynamite degreaser with me, and I'm gonna put some of that down. We're gonna do a test hit, do a test area, maybe up in here, before we bother trying to do the whole floor with it. We've got some dynamite degreaser from Southeast Soft Wash. This is usually some pretty hot stuff. We're gonna see how it works. Just put a little on the floor for me right in this area, Pat. Maybe like right up in here a little bit. Just one little glove on the floor there. A little bit more than that, maybe. That's good. I'm gonna brush some of this in and see if it does anything to this floor before we get too crazy about doing anything else. Itchy. We've got a degreaser brushed in there fairly well. Straight out of the jug, not diluted at all. I can't see that it's made any difference at all yet. We put a 5-minute timer on the clock. We're gonna let it dwell for a few minutes, go over it with the surface cleaner, see what we've done. If we've not made much of any difference, we're just gonna surface clean this with water to lift up the dust. You can see the tracks in there a little bit. It did get a bit cleaner. Won't go too crazy. Then we'll fire up the MoFlow and do a rinse and push all the water right out the door here. Yeah. All that did is make suds everywhere. Yeah, hardly noticeable. I don't know. Let's just wash it with water one time and reevaluate. I don't know, what does this look like where we scrubbed? Can't really tell. Gotta do a little bit of rinsing, I guess. Oh. The area we brushed didn't come out dramatically different than the rest of the area. So we're going with just surface cleaning to lift up the dirt in here. And then we're gonna M5 rinse it all out. And that's gonna be all we can do with it today. Patrick was making a suggestion about using like a stronger chemical of some kind in here. Like if these were dirty car parts or we were working on an engine, we would use like brake cleaner or something to lift up and dissolve. I think it needs more of a solvent on the floor. you know, more than the degreaser to actually get up what we need. You know, that or we need a much stronger degreaser. I know a bunch of you guys are gonna chime in, use this, use that, use Gold Assassin, whatever you think might work. I'm sure somebody knows more than I do. We use Dynamite Degreaser, usually have pretty good results with that, but again, no real impact here, so we'll do what we can and move on. We weren't real happy with the results of just the water. I noticed up here, I don't know if you can see this in the film or not, somebody had come through here with a pressure washer at one point and left like Zorro mark lines all over the place. So I know this will come up with some pressure. So we laid a little more degreaser in here, did some brushing, and you can see the difference between that. And then another area over here, I brushed all this area, and you can see the difference between here and here. So we're gonna take the time to lay some Dynamite Degreaser all over here. We're gonna brush the whole floor with Itchy, surface clean it one more time, and then ball valve or mold flow rinse perhaps this time so it's a little faster and push everything out the door. This drain, however, is keeping up pretty nice, so happy about that. We laid a lot of degreaser down in here, and I think it's, I'm glad that I did. It's definitely made a big difference. I can see it's pooling up some brown swirly stuff, so it's definitely lifting stuff out of here that we didn't get before. So we just set a timer for like 10 minutes. We're gonna let it hang out and dwell for just a little bit. Then we're gonna come through here with the surface cleaner one more time, and then a thorough rinse, and then we're gonna have to call it done. But I think that this adding degreaser will have made a fair difference here. We're gonna find out. All right, so I just used my phone a friend option and called my good friend Barry Little. You guys might know Barry Little. He's the king of gas station washing currently. He's got a pretty good YouTube presence. He's all over the internet. He sells stuff. If you don't know who Barry Little is, you might want to check him out. Little's Pressure Washing. He told me we're on the right track with our process here. Brushing with Dynamite Degreaser. He said if that doesn't take it up, you're probably not gonna get it to come up. And you can see the brown syrup we're creating here. So we're gonna let this hang out for a few more minutes. I can see visually that it's come up quite a bit. Quite a lot of this has come up. See the goop that we've got pooling here in the middle? So a lot of this has lifted that didn't come up previously. We're gonna surface clean this one more time, again, per Barry's suggestion. And then we might give it one more quick light brushing and a rinse, and we're gonna call it done. Yeah, I could have ball valve rinsed it. I just don't wanna. I wanna play with this. To scrub this door. There was all kinds of grease on this door. I wish I would have got some video. There were big literal gobs of axle grease all over this. We scrubbed the whole door. It's been hanging out for a good 5 minutes. Hit it with a rinse patch.
Yeah.
Show this area right here. Much better. Not perfect. That's how we're gonna leave it, just like that. We could probably do aluminum brightener or something else up there to get it even cleaner, but his real concern was getting the grease off down below. You know, obviously this place needs a lot more help than what we got going on here. These walls are filthy. He's gonna be painting all of this, replacing some of the wood on the bottom, and then he's also gonna be putting diamond plate like a third of the way up the wall, all the way around, new outlet covers, and then this shop is going for rent. It's gonna be awesome. I'm real happy we went the extra step with this. It came out so much better. There's still iron staining on here, obviously paint that we didn't get up. We could lay some rust aid down on here and maybe make that a bit better, but we're not gonna go any further than that. This was the area that somebody else had cleaned that made Zorro marks all over the place. Looks real good. We're gonna leave this garage bay open now for the day. Let this dry out. Client's gonna come by with some fans maybe, do a little bit of fan drying, but I'm real happy with the result. I'm glad we went the extra mile. On rinse down, running the MoFlow, cleaning up the mess, because of course we got debris all over this back patio, or back decking I should say. You know, this is still the fastest method in my arsenal. Make a mess, clean it up. I don't have a faster method. We've been here 15 minutes. 5 more minutes, we'll be out. 20 minutes. Gutter cleaning on this house was $285. Piece of cake. They were worried about the debris going on the ground. You see what we're dealing with here.
All right, we just finished gutter cleaning on this house, and we're throwing in a real cheap house wash. We're doing it with the MoFlow. It was nasty, needed it pretty badly.
Patch on rinse mode. We got the whole house washed. Final rinse here on the front. Gutter cleaning all the way around. Laddered up on the gutter cleaning and blew it out with the MoFlow since we're gonna wash anyway. And we're producing a great result real fast. We will have been here just about 1 hour, a few minutes less by the time we're done. This house wash is only gonna have taken about 35 minutes. This machine just absolutely cranks. Put about 1.5 on the house so we can move quickly. No waiting around.
Last project of 2024. Easy.
Say the single biggest aggravation I have with this MoFlow is the bird's nesting of the reel. It makes me absolutely crazy. I tried to take one of the manual locks off my other reel, but it doesn't fit on here because this reel doesn't have the same spacing because of the electric motor. The manual lock I have does not work on the reel. So every time you come on and off the gun, it goes like this, which creates a nest of hose. Makes me crazy. Can't stand it. That's the only thing I don't like about this system so far. We got to figure out something to remedy that because I'm not going to deal with it for the whole season. All right, we are done for the year. That's it. Today is New Year's Eve. We worked right till the end. We are draining the tanks because I'm going to quasi-temporarily winterize this rig for a week or so. The foreseeable forecast for me is barely above freezing temperatures during the high point of the day, and then teens and low teens overnight for the next 10 days or so. So there's not really any sense in me trying to keep this thing full, ready to work. I'm going to move the MoFlow also, so I'm going to be disconnecting some plumbing here. That's another reason that I'm dumping this. I'm going to move it back about 18 inches or so. This Flow Pro is going to move. The MoFlow is going to move all the way back here, and the machines are going to be right in line with each other. So I'm going to move this back about as far as I can, and then the the Flow Pro is going to go up front here. One of the big reasons I'm doing that is I don't like the battery being over there. That's no good. It's in the way of my whip lines. If anything bursts back here, I'm going to have a disaster. I want that battery to go right into this space. It's more central to power everything. I'll have better access to it from the side when I want to do my chemical transfers. I have access to power to clip my connections to run my Remco pump. Anyway, battery's going to go here. Flow Pros are going to go somewhere up in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to run one or two of them this year or not. And I'm going to get some longer whip lines to feed things in. But anyway, that's going to move. Dumping this. Again, I was talking to you guys about the lock on the reel that was making me crazy today. I can't stand it. I've got these manual reels that have this lock on them, okay? And you see the spacing here on the manual reel is much different than the electric reel. There's a good inch in here, and on the electric reel we don't have that, so it doesn't fit. So I'm going to make an adjusted bracket that steps this thing over the distance that it needs to feed the reel correctly. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do. I can probably do that with a couple pieces of steel that I have on hand. So I'm going to make that adjustment. Those manual locks, I got two of them just sitting there. So we're going to take one off, put it on that electric reel, and see if that doesn't work. If that doesn't work and it still continues the bird's nest, I'm going to take this hose to one of our local hydraulic hose guys, and I'm going to have it cut and quick releases put in here and run it maybe in like 3 or 4 sections, and then I'll make a mounting block like I do with a pressure washer and just reel off what I need and plug it in, because I'm not going to continue dealing with that bird's nest. It really, really, really aggravates me. We're talking with Brian at Midwest, and we love Brian. He makes some great equipment, and he's getting us a downstreaming manifold. I used the selector block last year, which allowed me to choose chems to turn things on and off, but we're going to go with a manifold this year that's going to have proportioning valves. We're going to have 3 of them, one for water, one for soap, one for chem, and that's going to mount somewhere up in here, and it's going to be beautiful. This way I can more properly flush my injectors or choose to use some soap when I'm downstreaming a little more easily. Also control my solutions a little bit. If I want to run the 1.8 injector that's pulling, 10 to 1, cut that down a little. I can add some water, have some choices. Plus it'll look slick, it'll be slick. And we want to support Midwest. They're really good people. Brian's a great guy, makes some fantastic equipment. We got the Wash So Hard sticker on the MoFlow. Not to diss Leon's sticker, but we're gonna go all in with Wash So Hard. My friend Danny Powell made this brand. We're gonna be big time supporters of this brand in 2025. We got some more merchandise coming out through Wash So Hard. Love it. Stickers, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, that kind of stuff. We're gonna wrap it up. You guys enjoy what's left of your New Year's Eve, if you have any, and we'll catch you in 2025, and we're gonna make it huge. Happy New Year.